Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And I promise you this, above all else, I'm going to be more obnoxious, more overbearing, and I'm going to make you all learn to love it because you'll have no choice.
It's time!
Welcome to the Probably Wrong Podcast. Tony, Mike, Dave, the boys are caffeinated up and ready to go.
Not yet. I was waiting for the show to start.
God, ruined it. Got off to a good start.
Well, let's try it. So what exactly is this again?
This is I was approached by a supplement company that doesn't really have products yet, and they're about to launch. And I said, you know what? It has to be something that I would drink. It has to be something with good ingredients. It has to be at a good price. So I'm sampling this out, and I've been drinking this in the afternoons for I want to say about 2 weeks. It's like a brain focus thing. And I've taken brain focus things before, but I take them in capsules, and I'm not good with capsules. I always forget. But I'm better with powders.
Yeah.
My pre-workout, my protein powder. So I'm giving this a shot, and after about a week and a half, I feel like I like it. I feel like I like it. I like the taste. I like how smooth it is. It's your first sip. Second sip. A lot of sips there.
Are we going to be sharper?
Oh, we're going to have to be.
It's tasty.
This is a sour flavor.
I like it. It's not too soury, and it's warm.
Well, I have the bottles in my garage.
I can tell you what's not sharp is my phone.
Okay, that's going to be a problem, Dave.
I can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah. I like the taste.
Good, clean taste.
I can drink this. Now, to see if it actually gives me energy. As anyone who knows me, I live off of energy drinks.
Right, and this would be a better alternative. And I think it's supposed to give you, it's supposed to clear your brain fog.
I do like the taste of this.
Yeah, the taste is very smooth. Very smooth.
It's yeah.
Very smooth.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll see how the energy rolls.
Right. Well,
That's the deciding factor.
Yeah, because
I don't feel it yet.
No. And we know during the show we often have a ton of brain fog, so hopefully it'll help out.
Hopefully this will clear this up. So last week, our audience loves pegging.
They love pegging? We got some freaks out there.
We got some great numbers last week.
Really?
For YouTube and everything else.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Because of the pegging?
All the Spotify and iTunes.
All the TikToks out there?
Yeah. So
Wow.
I don't know. I think either they're interested in the Bill and Jordan, or it's just the pegging that got them.
Oh, I think it might be a little bit of both. I didn't know our audience was a group of freaks.
Well,
Apparently it is.
yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Do we really have to pronounce it Jordan? Or
Yes.
Can we just say Jordan?
Jordan.
Jordan.
I just want her to go away.
She's not going away.
She's not
anytime
going
soon.
away.
She's not. And then the news this week about how she forced her way onto the Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
It just doesn't surprise me at this point.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, ruins which I was actually looking forward to, oh my goodness, I forget it. What's the NFL?
Apparently that's not working.
So much for the focus.
Yeah, it's got to kick in.
What's the NFL? Hard Knocks. The UNC Hard Knocks. I was looking forward to that. I said, wow, this is going to be interesting to see Bill, and she ruined that because she demanded the moon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. And unless he's coaching football, I don't really want to hear about Bill Belichick either. No. I'm kind of done.
Really.
Like, done with
Yeah.
it. But you know what I'm not done with? Which is really, sweeping the nation at this point.
Uh-oh.
So I feel that we should dive into it.
Okay, all right.
100 men versus one gorilla.
We haven't talked about this yet.
No, not at all.
I have my thoughts.
I can't go anywhere without finding it now.
Okay.
So.
And this is the second time I've heard about it, and then both of them have been from you.
You've only heard it? Oh, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Dave,
Maybe turn on your phone.
It's not on ESPN.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's not on the Bruins website.
So
There's nothing on the Bruins website right now.
Maybe just a 7th pick overall.
So 100 men versus a gorilla.
Okay.
And people are dissecting the hell out of this.
As have I.
And I just feel, right, you're taking just 100 men. You're not picking 100 men. You're just taking the first 100 men that walk through the door, and you're taking a gorilla taking the gorilla every single time.
100%.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I thought about this more. You take your biggest, baddest men, and you pick whatever 100 you want. The gorilla is still ripping through them.
100% of the time.
Because the gorilla, when you take the first guy and you rip his arm off, and you hear that scream, that affects the men.
There goes 99 men.
It doesn't affect the gorilla.
No.
You rip that gorilla's arm off, that gorilla is still fighting with the other arm. He's biting you like. None of those 100 men are biting that gorilla.
I did some research into numbers. I love numbers. And people were estimating the power and the speed of a gorilla. And they said a gorilla can run at the speed of, average speed would be 26 miles an hour.
Yeah.
When they give you the top speed in the NFL, a lot of times this year, it was Tyreek Hill at 21 miles an hour. So this thing weighs who knows what and runs faster than Tyreek Hill. Yeah. I also saw that a gorilla, they think, could deadlift anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 pounds.
Yes.
So I was thinking, if I could deadlift 400 pounds, and if we just played with the numbers, that means Tony put me in the position of the gorilla. I would have to fight 100 people that could deadlift 1/10 of what I can, 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Your daughter could deadlift 40 pounds. So it'd be people weaker than her. So I'd have to fight about 105-year-olds. I'd win every time.
Yeah.
Just like the gorilla would win 100% of the time.
And you listen to these men talk about, I could take him this and that.
God.
I go, no, you don't. You forget that is fighting for survival. Those guys take down lions with their bare hands.
Dude, they have nails the size of our fingers that would scratch your face off.
Now, if you're saying, now here's the flip side to that. If you're saying that the men get to use their brains and build weapons, okay, I'm taking the men. Because if you're building spears and stuff like that,
that's different.
But if you're just saying just bare hands, that gorilla is wiping through all of them and going to find his mate.
He would be done in about 4 minutes.
Yeah. And I see this list, like, I'll take 10. It's like Brock Lesnar and all these other big guys. I go, he is literally going to break Brock Lesnar's head and just literally either squish it or rip it off his body.
Right.
And while the other guy's trying to hit him, he's using all his other appendages, just destroying. No.
Not a chance.
If gorillas wanted to take over the world,
they could. There's not much we could do about it.
We have weapons. That's the only difference.
We have weapons.
And then if we get to faction our weapons and we're making spears and, we're winning 100% because that guy's not, that gorilla's not fashioning a spear. So.
No, but maybe catches the spear as you throw it at him.
Or maybe.
Then he comes back at you.
I would say if you gave me 10 guys with spears versus a gorilla, I think I'd still take the gorilla.
No, then I take the guy, because you forget there are native tribes that do this and take the weapons and like if you get to
you miss though.
But I'm telling you, like
there's one less spear.
Hold on.
But like you're figuring out traps, you're figuring out all this other stuff. You can outsmart.
If me, you, Dave, and 7 of our followers with 10 spears, I'm taking the gorilla.
I was going to say,
Dave's going to miss.
You want to go as far
I'm going to run. I don't know what the hell you're going to do.
Go as far as to say 10 Americans.
10 Americans.
With spears.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah.
But if you give us ample time, I think our if you're like, you know what, guys, 3 of you and 10 of your followers in 1 month are going to fight a gorilla. We're going to win because we're going to now figure out traps and stuff like that. I am thinking. I know we can figure out how to beat the gorilla.
Yeah.
If we get to use weapons and we get to figure out
we would need guns.
No, I think we can outsmart it with
gorilla.
What am I going to throw a pebble at it?
No, we're going to dig a pit.
God, you don't think these gorillas climb up trees? You don't think you can climb out of a pit?
Once it falls down there for the bananas, Tommy, we're harpooning them.
Is Tina on our team? Is she going to help us dig? Dave doesn't do yard work. We have a month. Yeah,
you got to somewhat level the playing field and say, well, if you're going to give 10 of us, a week to prepare.
A month.
I
gave us a month.
Oh my God.
A month.
A week
to
we're
prepare.
screwed.
Yeah.
You have to give that gorilla a month to really get pissed at us.
Yeah, but it's still not gonna.
The gorilla fights for survival. He can get pissed in 3 seconds. I want nothing to do with this.
The gorilla doesn't even have to get pissed to eliminate 100 men.
No, it doesn't. It'd be like me fighting 100 caterpillars.
Yeah.
You know, like a little tap like that. It seems like nothing to humans, but a gorilla taps you like that, you're done.
You're done. Oh.
You got a broken sternum.
I'm not going to make it very far.
No. Dave, you and I are the first two dead.
Well, I was going to say,
You're in the front line.
sacrificial lambs.
Yeah, okay.
You guys start. Let's see what this thing can
The
do.
other thing, too, is which one of the men are going to go first?
Not me.
You're all talking big game until it's gorilla time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
till
you see that-
you see it standing there, and you're like,
Oh,
no.
boy. Oh, boy.
You're like,
Because realistically, you would take Brock Lesnar and multiply him by, like, 4. And that would be the size of the gorilla, right?
yeah. I mean, they're like, oh, the gorilla's only like 5'11". I go, so fucking what?
5'11" of, like, 2% body fat.
Yeah.
And just jacked out of his mind.
Yeah.
With huge claws, huge fingernails, and an attitude. I'm all set.
Yeah.
Pass.
Anything that could take down a lion with its bare hand.
Yeah, the fact that it can catch a lion is scary enough.
Yeah. Hold on, we got some comments coming here.
Oh, boy.
I don't understand that, Phil. One Tony with a pickleball. I've seen what he does to the
Okay, yeah. Well, if we're gonna even out the playing field, and I got a paddle and a few pickleballs, then I like our chances.
Justin Elwood. The gorilla has endurance issues. I think 100 men is too much. However, the gorilla is taking out at least half and maiming the others. I understand, and I figured that too in, Justin, the endurance issue, but the thing is...
Like we have good endurance.
Exactly.
Like-
and the other fact is...
Like, how far can you run, Dave?
The gorilla knows it's going to die, and it's going to fight no matter what.
Right.
Hopefully,
Humans, when they start to see all these people get ripped to
Yeah.
shreds...
Oh, there goes Dave's head.
hopefully I can
He's
run
gonna
a
kill-
little bit farther and a little bit faster than the
next
last
guy.
person.
Yeah. I couldn't run 100 yards right now, so I'm not going to say the gorilla has endurance issues.
Tony Montanelli, I thought you taught boxing. Yeah, not with fucking gorillas.
Yeah. God.
You know? Oh, my goodness. Man, could you just... no. I couldn't even imagine it. Like, I see these guys that survive, like, falling into, like the pits, like, at the zoos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's just because that gorilla didn't want to harm you.
Right.
It's-
Because
maybe-
on Tiger King, they had the tiger that bit that girl's arm off, right?
Yep.
Like,
I never saw it.
no, you never saw it?
No.
Oh, you should. I think
This
you'd like
makes
it.
this makes me think of the Jackass movie where they put the guy in the ring with a professional boxer. It was a woman, but professional boxer, and she just beats the shit out of this guy, and it's hilarious. But it's like,
Was it Steve-O?
I forget who the guy was. It
Steve-O
was one of
always
the-
did the craziest stuff.
Yeah, it was one of those idiots that was just like, yeah, I'll get in there and take a few punches. I mean, this girl was just like,
People
Lighten
don't
them
get
up.
it. When you have done that and trained hard and like you're a boxer, like we used to be at Petronelli's in Brockton, and these kids used to come in off the streets and think they were all big and bad and tough, and they'd come in and train for a day or two, and they'd be like, let me get in the ring, and be like, oh, okay.
Okay, buddy.
You know what? All right, you're gonna go, and be like, oh,
You're going to learn real fast.
oh, Randall, Diamond, whatever, you know, just get in the ring. I'm not fighting that kid. He's 15. I go,
That kid will eat you for lunch.
don't worry, he won't be in there very long.
It won't be much of a
And
fight.
every street they're like, oh, I want to fight that guy. I
Yeah.
want to fight that guy. I go, well, let's see how you do against this 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm done. I'm out of.
Yeah, that's what we'd
I
all...
can't breathe.
Yeah. We wouldn't even get that
where's
far
the
with the
bell?
gorilla.
And I'd be on the post going, that was 37 seconds.
Yes. You have endurance issues, much like the gorilla.
So yeah, it's people don't realize.
I'm glad we're on the same page, because I was kind of... I knew we were talking about this. We haven't talked about it, but I knew it was going to be on the agenda. And I'm like, if he says 100 men, we're going to have to battle. Like, there was no way I can listen to people say 100 men would take out a gorilla.
And Phil chimes in. So with some of these guys that are about to list off that he brings in, were on the list, like Brock Lesnar, Rashiki, Mark Henry. He's
Isn't
destroying.
Rashiki dead?
He's destroying.
I think
no.
Rashiki's dead, right?
Yeah, he actually died
Rikishi?
recently.
Rikishi.
Died in the past couple of years. But
Yeah,
like
so
Mark
he can't
Henry,
fight.
dead. Dead.
And we think the gorilla has stamina issues? Mark Henry can't move. Come on.
Justin Tiger King never recovered financially from that.
Oh, that's what he was. Oh, I'm never. The girl loses her arm. He's like, oh, I'm never going to recover financially from this. I'm like, well, a little bit of a narcissist. Your employee just lost her arm.
So, yep, 100 men. hands down, every time. And I'm sorry, 100 men dead.
Yes. Yes.
Unless you let us get weapons, and then I'll stand through it. Then you could, if you let us
You know,
use
it'd
up
be great.
rage,
You know,
get
people
weapons.
like on death row.
And
that
I don't mean guns. I just mean
yeah, spears. You know, people on death row that have done horrible things to kids and women.
Yeah.
We should put 100 of them on death row versus one gorilla.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view. And then all of a sudden we could pay off a debt.
And I bet you, so if you made it so that they can't run and escape, it will be over
Oh, God.
10 minutes.
I don't even think it would be 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I think it'd go like the Tasmanian devil. That gorilla would just go through. It'd be like 2 minutes.
Never mind once it got the taste for blood.
Oh, boy.
Then you got to shoot the gorilla afterwards. Poor gorilla.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, because it has a taste for blood. Then it's out killing chickens and ducks.
Phil says,
and
their prime, Tony. In their prime, they're actually probably dying faster because they think they're tougher.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like you don't kill the gorilla after because you got to save it for the next pay-per-view event where you bring in more criminals.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Dave, you're not. After it has a taste for blood and wipes through,
It's going
100
after your
men,
ducks, and then
yeah.
if it gets your ducks, we don't get eggs.
They're not reining
Yeah.
that thing back into a cage.
Yeah.
Well,
It's done.
just put it in a cage and then send them into the cage.
Yeah, one by
One by one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Give it a big enough cage that it can,
Maybe these things are working. These
Tony,
are good thoughts.
This was very tasty.
It's delicious. It's delicious.
That was good stuff.
Are there other?
There are a few other flavors. This one's sour. They all seem to be sour, so I think this.
It gives it a little nice when you take it.
I think there's black pepper in there. There's a reason why they have to be sour. It's probably to cover up one of the ingredients, but I like it. I like the
I wish
taste.
it gave me a little bit more of a.
Chemical taste?
No. But more of an energy rush. More of a boost.
I don't think you're going to find that. I think you're going to this is more for like brain focus. This isn't like a pre-workout.
Yeah.
This is let's see what you're thinking like.
We need that first thing in the morning.
What, the brain focus or
Yes.
the energy rush?
Brain focus.
Yeah, all day. I'm getting old.
I know. I keep my
CRS.
brain focused every minute of the day.
I catch
I like
myself.
it. But I thought about it, the name, the Addy name. I think you may have to go away from the Addy.
I was going to do Liquid Addy.
I think you may have to go away from
Like
that.
legally?
I just think.
Do you know how many of my friends have done? I've never done Adderall, but
I know.
everyone else I know has done Adderall.
I know, but you know when you market things, you can't actually market them after drugs.
Addie's a cute little girl. She gave me
It's
this.
my daughter's name.
I wasn't talking about your daughter.
I think
We're going to name this after your daughter. Liquid Addy.
I think we gotta change the name. Jay Fields, I love to gamble on the gorilla. Yeah. Easy win, easy money.
I'd like to see what Vegas gives us for odds.
If we want to segue this into sports, you know what else was easy money? The Knicks.
I didn't put any money on it.
I don't bet.
No?
I don't bet. I would have bet Celtics, tell you the truth. I would have.
Cleaned up, took the over, lost in the over by 1 point.
Well, you had the overtime.
Yeah, and I was bragging in the group chat, like, overtime, got it. I also took Toronto the over. I took Denver the over, and I was sitting on top of the world.
Maple Leafs?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And the Celtics,
Just don't.
much like my bet, didn't work out.
Yeah, just tough basketball to watch. You're like, dude, let's use a little common sense. You're not hitting the threes. There's open lanes to the basket. And they're just bombing threes. Frustrating.
It bothers me because it's like, all right, you play the numbers, right? Because it's all about numbers to these Celtics. Analytics. So you look at, they shot 42% inside the line, right? If you take those 45 missed threes and you average that down to 42%, so that means they make 19 twos. That means they win by
Right.
35.
It's
Right?
Yeah, it's painful to think about that.
It's like,
Yeah, it's frustrating.
like you love the math. Well, look at the math.
yeah.
And I saw, at halftime they were talking about, Shaq was talking about, kind of picking on Porzingis a little bit. But
I can't believe he didn't play through it.
they dumped the ball down to him. There were multiple chances at it, and he was missing from like two people.
I
He
wonder
was
how
sick.
sick he was. Because he looked terrible.
Yeah.
Hey, Jordan played through the flu.
Yeah. Jordan is probably one of the top 5 athletes of all time.
I personally think that's a bad look for Porzingis. I would have much rather them hit it and said, a knee sprain. And then say, he was sick and he couldn't come back. It's not a good look.
Maybe Missoula's like, hey, Porzingis, you're a little bitch. I'm going to let people know that you were sick. Right? Because Missoula's like that.
Yeah.
Like, he'll call you out. He told Tatum to get up.
You know?
Right? And
his
you know
comments after that game, dickheadish. It drives me crazy and the way that he handled the press afterwards. And then you look at Tatum when he gets up. I think I sent you the clip.
Yeah,
and Tatum is like, you know
it.
what? It's on me. He didn't say it like that, but he's like, we got a little too comfortable with the three. I gotta take it to the hole better. I gotta recognize. I go, thank you. That's it. A little bit of accountability
I know.
goes a long way.
You know what part of the problem is? He's been listening to people like Dave saying he's got to take over games. And the way he takes over games, bring it to the rack, get the foul, or dribble penetrate for one of your other players. But now he's bombing threes. I think he's been listening to Dave.
I don't think that's what I've been saying.
But
I've been saying take it to the hole. Because when the threes aren't dropping for you, why do you keep firing up?
It's the numbers. They feel that he feels, Dave, that if they shot one more 3-pointer with the math, they win that game. That's what drives me crazy.
Yeah.
And what I meant, Dave, was I think you've wanted him to take over games, and when he does, it's usually more for. I think you always wanted that 30-point like game where he scores 20 in the fourth quarter.
Well, I just don't. I don't think there's anyone in the league that can defend him when he takes it to the hole.
I agree with you 100%. I think
he doesn't do it enough.
I know.
His problem is not the people defending him; it's finishing at the rim. Because if you notice, every time he takes it to the rim, he gets in there with ease.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes he just doesn't finish at the rim.
Finesses a little bit. I think he still thinks he's like the skinny kid out of Duke. You're a little bit stronger. So,
And Justin Elwood, yes, I it's not often, this is going to kill me to say, but I completely agree. With him taking those deep threes, I felt at that point that the reason they lost that game was Jason Tatum.
yeah, we were talking about that in the thread. I'm like, this game's on Tatum.
100%.
Dumb threes.
And then Brown bailed them out with two stupid turnovers.
Hey, Jason Tatum, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Hold my liquid Addy. Let me show you how dumb I am.
Oh, my goodness. And then the worst, I know we're jumping around here, but to have the ball ripped out of your hands.
How does that happen?
He gave up. That's how that happened.
You stand there and you let the defender grab the ball.
Like, he gave up.
That's never happened to me in my life. Not that I play a lot. I've never done that to anyone in my life. Like, I've never seen, you just, with 4 seconds left, you just let the guy take the ball from you.
He gave up. That's what pisses me off. Like, you can see it in his face. He just finally let go. And I'm like, guy.
Something irks me about Jaylen Brown. I like him, but I'm not really sure what it is. Like,
and Jay Fields chimes in about that, too. He became very concerned when Jaylen Brown jacked up those 2 threes to start the second half. When Jaylen Brown is on, he's on.
Oh, yeah.
When he's off, it's like he doesn't realize that he's off.
Yeah.
He's got that Marcus Smart to him a little bit.
Antoine
way better than Marcus Smart, but
Antoine was like that a little bit. If PS was going off, Antoine had to kind of take some of his thunder.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's frustrating.
It was. I mean, just the beginning of that game. It seemed like the referees were going to ruin the entire game. Both ways. It wasn't just. I'm not sitting here being a homer like, oh, the Celtics were getting fouled.
Well, the Knicks were in foul trouble early.
Yes,
they had people out early.
The referees in that game.
It was so bad.
I feel like it's across all sports.
And not just. This isn't just being a homer here. They were bad. They were bad for both teams.
Yeah,
it was
terrible
35 fouls in the first 17 minutes or something like that. I'm like, this is awful to watch.
Yeah, let them play a little bit.
Jason Imlach chimes in, don't fake the funk on a nasty dunk. I think that's actually going to be on the shirts that they're putting on the...
That was Shaq Fu, right?
Yeah. I'm not positive, actually. I don't even know why I said yes.
I think that was Shaq. I think that was Shaq.
In the Fushnikins rap?
Yeah. Well, I think it was around that time. I don't know if it was part of the Fushnikins.
And do you know who had the nasty dunk? How do you say his last name? OG
Anunoby.
OG Anunoby, yes.
I bought so many of his rookie cards. I thought he was the next big thing, and he's very good. He's a role player. He's a very, very good role player. But I want to say about 40 of his rookie cards, and he never really panned out.
Jay Fields chimes in on the Porzingis. What are your thoughts? Might be on his way out, and he isn't invested because he's saving himself for the next team. I think with a lot of NBA players, Fields, I could see that, but I think Porzingis is what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. Porzingis isn't like that.
I think he's more old school. He's from a different country, and he absolutely loves it.
And you've seen it even in his old teams. It doesn't matter. He will play balls out no matter what.
Yeah.
Washington knew he was out the door after. I mean, he didn't. It was very vocal that they were getting rid of him. He just wants to play.
And I remember there was a game in Washington where I believe Bradley Beal didn't play, and he beat the Celtics single-handedly.
Yep.
With Tatum and Brown.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So I don't think Porzingis is made that way. Porzingis, and like you just said,
I don't either. I feel like he loves it here too. So
and he might be on the way out, but I don't think he's given up because he's on the way out.
And I think that I honestly think. I know we're going to break this down a lot after the season, but I think he's the one that stays. Because
I hope so.
His contract's on his way out anyways, and I don't want any of them to leave. Holiday's defense, it's just everything about this team is perfect.
You got to be nervous with new ownership, and they're like over the luxury tax.
And we knew this was coming. This wasn't a surprise. This team wasn't going to stay together forever.
Yeah, but if you win again, do you break up a chance to three-peat because of money?
This is a very unpopular opinion. I think Jaylen Brown's the piece that should go.
Well, depending on what you bring back, because I think you can get rid of Jaylen Brown and still have a chance to win the title.
With the pieces that are there.
Yeah,
and he's got the largest contract, right? I mean, I don't know when...
Well, Tatum now, but they're pretty similar. Tatum signed a year after him.
Okay.
Dr. J, Jason Imlach, chimes in on the fake...
Oh, Dr. J! Dr. J! Yes. Julius Erving, UMass Amherst graduate, which a lot of people don't know.
Nope, did not know that.
Yeah, UMass Amherst.
I thought you were about to say Bridgewater State.
No, that's Jordan.
I could see Drew Holiday gone just because age and the amount of basketball he's played over the last 5 years, being, winning a championship with Milwaukee and then obviously with the Celtics and going on another long
then the
run.
Olympics.
So he's getting older. I can see them kind of being like, we love you, but we got to move on.
I just don't know how they're going to cut payroll, because if you trade Drew Holiday, somebody has to match the contract.
Right.
And who's going to give you a $35 million player for Drew Holiday?
See, that's why I think it's Holiday, because you can bring in an expiring contract.
Right?
Because Porzingis has got a year basically left on his deal anyways. In Holiday, unless I got that backwards, I thought Holiday had more years.
Well, Holiday re-signed for 4 years and won 40. Right?
So it makes sense to get rid of him for an expiring contract.
But who's going to want him?
I think a lot of teams still want him because of what he brings night and night defensively.
He would have to go to a team ready to win a championship.
You don't think?
I was going to say he's a winner.
Denver.
Pacers.
It would have to be a team like that. A team that is still kind of in it.
Scary team, Pacers.
Oh, yeah,
we'll get to them in a minute.
Scary last year.
So I just think going into tonight, I think tonight the easy money is the Celtics.
10.5 though.
I think tonight they're going to blow doors. They usually do. Game 1 in the second series, they've lost several times. I forget what the stat the other day, but they've lost it, I think, 3 years in a row.
And after a bad shooting game like that, you assume they're going to shoot much better.
I think they're going to come out tonight taking it to the hole and working it back.
Okay. Which they should do.
We would have won game 1.
Common sense, yeah.
You'll find out pretty quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty quick, actually. Yeah, 35 minutes.
Yeah, right now.
But yeah, I think we'll bounce back tonight.
What's your wife cooking over there? It smells pretty good.
It's Wednesday night bacon.
Oh, yeah.
I know. It's
every Wednesday I'm in here like, oh my God,
man,
bacon and eggs.
Jeez.
But
it smells delicious.
I'm going to grab a sandwich on my way out the door.
I mean, you do provide the eggs.
I said this going into the series, though, and I still listen to people look past the Knicks. The Knicks are going to give us a series. Jalen Brunson is going to come on like gangbusters the end of every game. Towns still is a force. Yeah, he only scored 14 points, but it's almost like they didn't even really need him because everybody else... Go ahead, Dave.
He had 10 in the first quarter.
Yeah. And then everybody else caught fire on that team.
Yeah.
Like they're bought in, and that is the most dangerous thing because they play together as a team. They want to beat the Celtics. They're going to bring it every single night with full intensity. And they're going to steal. They're going to steal another game in New York.
I think that's the key word. The Celtics tend to struggle with teams that play for 48 minutes. We saw it with Indiana last year. That was a tough. We swept them, but that was a tough series. Every game was down to the wire. Indiana plays for 48 minutes, and New York does the same exact thing.
This team's been told all year long they can't beat the Celtics.
The Knicks,
and they didn't all year.
I don't think they believe it though. I mean, they're not playing like they believe that.
No, they're playing like no
they're
one,
not
no
afraid
one
of
believes
them.
in us.
No.
So, I mean, it's tough. They're a good team, but the Celtics should beat them in 5-6 games.
Yeah.
If they
this
beat
goes
them in
7,
5 games, Dave, it's a huge stepping stone for the Celtics. Like if they beat them in 5 games, if they win 4 straight now, that's huge for the Celtics.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to happen now. I thought maybe if they won game 1, this would have ended in 5.
Yeah.
But now I kind of look at it like maybe it does go 6, but that means they have to go to New York and win that game 6. So this could be a 7-gamer.
I know Knicks played it perfectly too. The other day they baited the Celtics to shoot and made it seem like they couldn't drive. They had a great game plan. Won't work as well tonight, but when they go back to New York, they're gonna come back to Boston for Game 5, series tied. So you see it. You'll see it.
Let's just win tonight.
Yep.
Win tonight.
1 game at a time.
And then we can relax a little bit, for a day.
Much like Cleveland's uphill battle now. 1 game at a time.
And they're hurt, too.
I love it.
And they're banged up.
Well, that's why last night I took the Pacers because I'm like, wow, Mobley's hurt, Garland's hurt, Hunter's hurt.
Yeah.
Like, Pacers got this. And Haliburton, at the end of that game.
Woo, stud. And that's the guy that can take over.
And that's the guy that they screamed overrated all year. Did you see him in his press conference? After
I didn't see it.
So after they were asking him, he's like, overrated, huh?
Yeah. And we talked about this last year. He plays at such a chaotic pace, but he's in control. It's just amazing to watch because not many players control the pace of a game. Steph Curry does, but Haliburton does a great job, and they just feed off him. It's fantastic. I bet you Sacramento's very, very sorry that they got rid of him.
They get rid of everybody.
Yeah, true.
Why do they have a team?
And they brought in 2 bums that couldn't win together in Chicago and thought they could win together in Sacramento.
Seemed to work out pretty well, yeah.
But, yeah, those Pacers look good. I'm surprised that they went up 2-0. I mean, I'm not surprised they won last night because of all the injuries. Game 1, I think, is more surprising of how well they looked out there.
Yeah, but we even said last week that the Pacers were going to give Cleveland some problems because the Pacers can score. And you have to outscore them because they're going to score 115, 120 points.
Just Cleveland in that Game 1, and it's ridiculous how much Cleveland basketball I've watched over this playoffs, but they looked frazzled in Game 1. Stupid, just... I don't want you to say stupid penalties. It's just not penalties. Stupid fouls, stupid turnovers, stupid plays with the ball.
That might be their first series that they're actually favorite to, like first meaningful series that they're favorite to win. And maybe the moment got a little too big for them.
I never forget, these are 2 games that they took in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So
now you're going to Indiana. Home of Caitlin Clark.
Who looks great, by the way.
She just killed Brazil single-handedly.
We'll get to that next week.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be tough. I mean, I don't see Cleveland winning both games in Indiana.
None of those guys are hurt.
No.
If those guys are hurt and they don't play, this doesn't come back to Cleveland.
Nope. And this was their problem last year when they played us. Everyone was like,
and Mitchell scored 48 points yesterday. He's not going to score 48 again.
No.
So if those guys aren't playing, it's going to be Indiana in 4.
We just got to... I don't want to look past the Knicks, so I don't want to... Because the Knicks are going to give us a series. Even though Jay Field chimes in, they caught fire and the Celtics couldn't... This is such a green teamer comment. Sorry, Fields. They caught fire. The Celtics couldn't get anything to drop and still only lost by 3. And that infuriates me because every Celtics green teamer thing, that's what they had up. Look, we had a bad game and we only lost by 3. If the Celtics
win by 20 tonight, there's validity behind that.
They will win tonight by double digits.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with them. Like,
if they win games in New York by 20, it's a different story. Winning at home, that doesn't mean so much to me. You got to do it in New York.
Right, but he's not 100% wrong.
No, he's not. The green teamers, and I'm not saying Fields does this, but the green teamers like to look past everything that the Celtics did bad in that game and go, well, look we still lost by 3. It's no big deal. We still lost by 3. Shoot 78 3-pointers next time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Pacers lost by 1. I mean, Cleveland lost by 1. They still lost. Still lost. And like you said, Dave, they got to win big in New York. Tonight, it's expected.
Yeah, you got to win tonight.
Yeah.
Gotta win tonight.
What happens if they lose tonight?
Oh.
We're gonna have a big show.
Oh. You gotta win tonight.
Another one, Jake. Mike, they missed 45 threes and only lost by 3. Yeah. They could have won that game. I don't get this, why we're so... Oh, they missed 45 threes, Mike.
I think what they're saying is they normally don't miss 45 threes.
Right, but they just did. And this was their worst. They were number 1 in 3 points made, number 1 in 3 points shot, number 10 in 3-point percentage over the year. That's not good.
That's not a good number.
Yeah.
No matter what, however you spin this, the 3-point barrage drives me crazy. And what pisses me off about this game is not everything that you guys are saying. Is that they should have won this game, and Missoula and nobody else changed the game plan and say, hey, shots aren't falling, guys. Take it to the hole. Towns has 3 fouls on him. Mitchell isn't even in the game because he's a liability.
Shots, yeah.
That's what are we doing? And that's what infuriates me. It's like last year in the playoffs, we every week we were like, wow, we'd go into halftime and be like, it's all right, Missoula's going to adjust.
Yeah.
And you'd see a different Celtics basketball team in the second half. Didn't see that game 1 at all. And that to me pisses me off.
Yeah, it was frustrating to watch. Yeah. It was very, very frustrating.
So Golden State's pretty frustrated right now.
Yeah, that's a tough
big
injury.
hit.
Yeah, it's a big hit. And you know what sucks about this the most? I was thinking, if Curry went on to win the title this year, it's going to start a big argument. Because if Curry wins the title, that's 5 championships.
Right.
3 without Durant. And we just think LeBron is the man of this era. But Curry has the record for 73 wins in a season. He would have 5 champions. Now there's an argument. Is it LeBron or is it Curry?
I just like Curry better.
Yeah, I don't like LeBron. But I would have to say this is LeBron's era.
Yeah.
But if Curry won this year, and you would have to have that argument.
And what a tough road if Curry won to go through that West. So
and to see him go out with a hamstring and he's a little bit older, that's not going to heal up right away.
No. And now you're putting everything on Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. It's
just too much. So that's like really unfortunate because this changes like the course of history. If Curry goes out and wins another title, that's 5. That's the same as Magic Johnson. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, it's the same as Magic Johnson. It's 1 less than Jordan. It's a big deal.
Huge deal.
Huge.
So,
and if he can't come back or can't get back to full strength, it's like he potentially had a shot. Anyone in it has a shot right now. No one's really that good. All the home teams lost. And he gets robbed of a shot because of a hamstring injury.
The only, I guess, the silver lining in this is that they spread it out so much, so he's only going to miss a few games. But it's
it's not a rolled ankle. It's a hamstring, so that goes. It's going to go again.
Yeah, it could pop again.
It sucks. Not right. And I'm not even a big Curry. I like Curry, but I'm not a huge Curry fan. But
we've battled about him for years. I love Curry.
But if he has a chance to be like maybe a top 10 all-time great, right? 5 titles.
I used to say this to you all the time, and it took 1 mouthpiece throw, and you were like, "This guy sucks."
I don't like how if Peyton Pritchard threw a mouthpiece and hit a fan, he would be in trouble.
We actually got in way back when. I don't even remember this. We got into an argument about this at Bridgewater Fitness.
Yeah, like you can't throw a mouthpiece into the crowd, have it hit a fan, and not get in trouble. But for some reason, that happened to Steph Curry.
Yep,
didn't matter. Like imagine like Dennis Rodman doing that, suspended.
Well, track record.
It's still a mouthpiece, and it still hit a fan.
The fan kept the mouth guard.
Yeah, sold it for $50,000. You know.
I believe the fan was the owner's son of whatever team that was.
Phoenix, right?
I forget what team, but it was the owner's son.
I think it was because there was something that happened between Curry and Phoenix owner. Or something.
I want to say it was Cleveland. Yeah, one of those teams.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I just remember the argument. Because I had a Golden State shirt or something on, and I'm like, Steve. I almost said Steve Kerr, but Steve Kerr still sucks too.
Yeah. Not a fan of his either. But Steph Curry.
That's where the feud started, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. That's where the thought of this show began.
Well, the seeds.
Yes. They were planted then at Bridgewater Fitness.
Well, let's keep it moving. I know every week you come on here and you are Mr. Rays and Sunshine over the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, I'm going to change my tune a little bit.
They're worse than they were last year, Tony. And
But their record's worse.
No, this team last year I felt we said all year last year.
You like Pablo Reyes?
Hold on, but last year they were fun to watch. They were all trying. You can't say no now because I go back in the records every week. Last week, we talked about how much they tried last year, how much they were improving. Yes, there were errors, but they were fun to watch because the guys were always out there trying. And I feel it's been a steady decline of trying, other than a few players. And then from last Wednesday to this Wednesday, there was no effort out there for anybody. I think Duran looked all right out there, and I mean
Bregman looks great.
Bregman's the outlier. Bregman has looked great all year.
Yeah, he's been great.
And I might be a little partial because I'm a Duran fan, but
me too.
And then Rafaela. Other than that,
Campbell.
I don't think that he over the past week he looks off. He looks.
Oh, but I've seen him. I saw him tag from second to third and then score on an overthrow. Like, I feel like offensively they're going to be okay. I'm more nervous about the pitching staff. I don't think they really have any pitches.
No, Giolito
looked terrible. Go.
Bale's looked all right.
Bale looked all right. Yeah, Bale looked all right.
3-0.
Yeah, it's not a dominant 3-0, but he looked all right.
Pitched well enough to win.
Right, but Beulah's hurt. Giolito looks like crap. Tanner Houck doesn't look great.
Giolito came out last week when you said he was going to suck and looked
pretty good.
And then the other night, awful.
Oh, horrible, yeah.
So,
yeah. I don't know. I feel like this team needs to get their act together because they're not playing well. Luckily for them, nobody in the American League is all that good, so they're not far behind all these other teams.
But all it's going to take for one of these teams to get hot and to really put some distance.
I don't know if any of these teams are good enough to get hot.
But
I don't think any of them are.
You watch a lot more baseball than I do, but I've seen a little bit. Like I've seen the Yankees. I saw who did I see the other day? Play us, the Twins. There was a game last week with the Astros, and these guys are trying.
Yeah, but they're not good teams.
This team's our Red Sox are just not trying.
When do you bring the kids in? Roman Anthony.
But do you want to bring them into what's happening right now in this clubhouse? There's something off right now, and I think
figure out who's off and move them off the end of the bench.
Well, one guy's already out, so that opens up something.
And we've talked about him. Like, none of us here really like him.
Yeah, he's a little off as a human.
So he's out of the clubhouse now. I mean, bring one of these kids in. These two kids are on fire in Worcester, and
can like give you a spark. It's like John Stocks off the bench.
And I want that. It's just I just think right now they got to get these guys playing hard and then bring up the spark. Because I think right now that this team overall there's a lack of effort out there.
You know what I've noticed with these games? They go up early and then they get bored. They kind of remind me of the Celtics a little bit. They go up early, they get bored, they're up 5-1, they don't score any runs, and it's 5-2, then it's 5-3, and then they're down 6-5. Seems like that's been happening a lot this year.
You just see disinterest. Jake chimes in. Anthony and Mayer, what are they, the Bruins? Because they're not bringing everybody up.
Yes. I listen to Dave from the bathroom when I'm urinating.
Jay feels lucky for them, weather's about to change, and then they can play.
Yeah, I do believe they're going to hit. I don't think they're going to pitch, though. And their starting staff makes me nervous. I thought Beulah would be better.
Beulah's muscled through some games.
Beulah, he's a grinder. He'll figure it out. But I was expecting him to be a 2.
So, Tony, if we could hit in, like, the middle to the end of the games, I think we wouldn't be saying this about the pitching staff. Right now,
we wouldn't be saying about Beulah. Giolito scares me. Tanner Houck scares me.
Tanner Houck has been awful since the All-Star game last year.
Yeah. So those two scare me. But Beulah would be good enough because he'll go 5 innings, give up 3 runs, and with this offense, that should be enough.
Right, and then the bullpen comes in,
correct,
and we give up another 3 runs,
right.
And then our team just decides we're not going to hit.
Yeah.
We're just going to swing at every single thing that comes across that plate. Doesn't matter where it is in the strike zone. Swing for the fences.
Yeah.
Is it Cora?
I don't know. I don't think. The hit is hit. Like. You go up to the plate, Cora's not hitting. He's, it's you versus the pitcher. It's a very individual game when you're up. I don't know, but it's disappointing to watch because I feel like talent-wise, they should be better than this.
The hitting coach?
Because it goes in spurts. Like, they crush the ball, and then they don't. And then they crush the ball.
Well, we really haven't crushed the ball except for the first... What was it, earlier in the year when we played Baltimore?
St. Louis.
Baltimore and St. Louis.
Yeah.
That was the only time that we crushed the ball.
Right, but
since then, it's been dud after dud after dud.
I mean,
we're leading the league in strikeouts. We're averaging 10-plus strikeouts a game.
Yeah, which is probably not far from everyone else. Everybody strikes out in Major League Baseball. I mean, but yeah, there needs to be some kind of shakeup. But I do think they're talented enough to remain at the top of the AL East.
And everyone still keeps screaming here to bring up these guys. So let's just say they bring up Mayer. Where are they putting him?
This is what I would do. Right? Because Christian Campbell doesn't really have a position. They have him at second. Looks a little shaky. They said he's a hard worker, and he's working on it. They put him in left. Didn't look good. They decided to put him in center. Didn't look good. I'm a fan. It's a good drink, huh? I'm a fan of athletic first basemen. Bryce Harper at first, Freddie Freeman at first. Christian Campbell is 6'3", doesn't have a position. For right now, short-term plan, you move Campbell over to first, and you put Mayer at second.
Okay. What do you do with Anthony?
He can't play him yet.
Right.
Can't play him yet. Because the position is open for Marcelo Meyer.
I want to see those guys. I want to see, though, Devers at first.
Okay, that would be another. Yep.
Right? Just, so what, Cora? Put him at first. Anyone can play first. If you listened to the game the other night, I think they played the clips on the local radio station earlier. These guys just going, Miller just going, was it Millar or Miller that was in
Kevin Millar.
Millar. Just going on, basically, that anyone can play first.
I've said this to a few of my friends that got into an argument. I remember I was on an all-star team. We had a bunch of outfielders, and the coach was like, anyone want to play first? I played first. I was nasty. It's the easiest position to play.
You basically, like he said, you're playing catch.
Dude, it's so easy. Anybody can play first.
He said you could go several games without getting a ball hit to you.
God, and any infielder can play first, because all you have to do is field the ground ball, and you have time. You don't even need to throw.
So my reasoning, though, for Devers at first...
He's fat. Can't move.
Right. But then you can utilize Yoshida.
Yep.
And my thing, put him at DH.
Yep.
Let him get... Let's just say he gets hot. Trade.
Yep.
You need to boost his trade value because you got to get rid of him. And you can't trade him the way he is, and now he's gone. You bring in some pitching, and then you take... Devers, say, all right, you're going back to DH.
Yeah.
We're kicking the kid up here.
I don't mind Devers at first just to give people a day off from the field. Jared Duran runs a lot. He runs into walls. He hits triples. He could be an occasional DH, right? So I like having that DH spot open. Trevor Story could probably use a few days at DH because he gets banged up. So I wouldn't mind seeing Devers at first. I wouldn't mind seeing Campbell at first. But instead, they're going with Toro.
Yes. Who again?
He used to play on the Astros, played on Seattle. He's like a backup corner infielder, more of a third baseman than first baseman. But then again, like you said, anyone can play first. So they choose that guy, Abraham Toro.
Imlach wants Haliburton.
Scott Haliburton.
All right, let's keep it moving because we're running short on time, and our Bruins
I'm out.
Just got the number 7 pick. That's what happens when you screw around and win meaningless games. Didn't they learn from the Patriots?
F around and find out.
Well deserved.
Right?
You hold on to Sweeney, and then one of the best coaches in the league that he's at, and you don't even call him. He ends up with the Rangers
Very quickly.
Yeah, it took a couple days, but so you don't get rid of the problem, which is in the front office, and then you don't bring in a guy who can fix the problem. And you failed twice, so you deserve the 7th pick.
I thought when Sullivan became available, I said, "Here we go. There's our next head coach. They're going to start off," and it was crickets. And then 2 days later, Rangers.
Yeah, just so unfortunate because I don't know what they're going to end up with right now. I mean, are you going to bring Joe Sacco back as your coach? That would be so painful.
It's I don't know what they're gonna do, Dave. I don't know. I'm just so over this team. And then when that number 7 pick came up, I'm just like, we were talking about this on the show. Like, you beat Carolina, why? You beat New Jersey. Why?
Any of the wins that
You
they
beat
got at the end of
the
year.
Penguins. Oh, wow. Swayman had a great game.
It was
Why?
a pride thing.
And then the last game of the year that they had to lose to increase their chances, you go to overtime.
Yeah.
You lose, but you go to overtime to lose anyways, and it
Right.
still boosts you. And what did their percentage? I mean, it from where they were the beginning of April to where they ended it, I think they lost. I forget what the percentage was, but it dropped quite a bit. Because at one point they couldn't get lower than 4, and then it was bam 7, and with the Bruins.
You couldn't get worse than San Jose and Chicago because they were so bad. But then, I mean, I say they were so bad, but at least San Jose, they beat the Bruins and they have a better team going forward.
Yeah.
They have something to look forward to. But yeah, this being at number 7, I can see them taking a gamble and picking someone who's like projected 3rd or 4th rounder, because the top 5 are pretty much set. Maybe not the order they go, but the top 5 are like, everyone knows they're going to be the top 5 guys taken. At 7, you have no idea. And the Bruins have a history of chasing.
Right winger from
big kid.
Brampton, Porter Martone.
Yeah.
Never heard of her. Him. Never heard of him.
I've only read a few things about him, but he's big, and that's the only reason that they're saying, he's big and he's a Brady Tkachuk style is what I've heard. But you know what? If he turns out to be like Brady Tkachuk, great.
But if the Bruins pick him, he will not.
No, because they'll send him to Providence for 4 or 5 years, and we'll never get to see him.
Justin Elwood chimes in, make a bold statement and hire Joel Quenneville.
I would take Joel Quenneville.
Never heard of him.
He did his
Does he
punishment.
work at D'Angelo's? That's the same guy?
Stanley
That's
Cup with the
Quenneville.
Oh, that's Quanville. Joe Quanville.
Stanley Cup with the
This is
Blackhawks.
Quenneville.
Makes a great sub.
Joel Quenneville.
It was Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, Jersey Mike's, yeah.
Blackhawks. They beat the Bruins in the Stanley Cup
I
final.
should have known it was Blackhawks when Justin brought it
You
up.
should have, yes. But yes.
It was Blackhawks or Rangers, either one of the two.
Yeah.
Great coach. Had some legal issues.
Was
That's why
he there when the trainer was raping the players?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably not a good guy.
So
to
he
bring
was.
in.
What,
He was
bring him in and then secretly
I wonder why
sign,
Justin's a big fan
what's
of
his
his.
name, Mitch Miller again? Bring in the guy who beats up the special needs, and then bring in the guy who shuts his mouth and watches the trainer rape the hockey players.
Yeah.
just,
Penn State all over.
Joe Paterno did. Turned a blind eye.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on.
Sandusky. Who's that Sandusky guy? Oh, he's with the little kids.
All right, real quick, Dave. These NHL playoffs.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
The game 7s over the weekend were insane.
Must see. And then did you? So I posted a lot about it in the story. Dave and I were talking about it. I noticed you didn't really chime in much on
I usually
this.
just hit right real quick. For hockey. I watch everything else.
But did you see? Go ahead, Dave. The guy that Colorado traded.
Oh, Rantanen. Yeah. Mikko Rantanen. 4 points in 2 straight games. He had a hat trick in the 3rd period to knock his old team out. It was awesome.
Traded like 2 months before the playoffs.
Yeah, it was-
and then
Yep.
beats them in Game
Oh,
7.
no kidding, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Hat trick.
Wow.
In Game 7.
Yeah.
In the 3rd
Oh,
period.
wow,
Was it in the
wow.
3rd period?
Yeah, in the third period, yeah.
To win. Yeah.
Because that was
That
a
was pretty
game.
nasty.
That was a game that the first 2 periods, Dallas looked like they were done. They had like 7 shots in the first 2 periods. It was 2-0 Colorado going into the 3rd, and then he just took over. 4 points in that 3rd period by himself, kind of put them away. I mean, it was awesome. And then I felt so bad for Jim Montgomery, but St. Louis, they're up 3-1 with 2 minutes left. And bam, Winnipeg scores. And then with 2.7 seconds left, they tie it.
In typical Montgomery fashion.
Yes. I was going to say I thought maybe it was the Bruins, but maybe it is Montgomery, because the Bruins, when he was here, would let goals go in less with 10 seconds less or less left on the
So
clock.
they lost, Dave. What was the stat? When he went to St. Louis, they had only lost 1 game when the goalie was pulled. And since his time in St. Louis, they lost 9. 9 games when he had to pull his goalie.
Yeah, but they're still better than us.
You're right.
Yeah,
No matter what you say.
much better. Oh, they have better management there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, but other than that, I mean, it's been great. The Carolina looks good. Carolina looks great. You know.
They do. And, I mean, in the first period, they had like 30-something shot attempts. Washington was blocking a lot of shots, but they were down 1-0 going into the third, and then they finally got one passed. And that's going to be an intense series just because of Wilson, Ovechkin, the hits. I mean, it's physical. It's a great series. A lot of good ones. It's
the last bit I want to talk to, other than Edmonton looking good, beating Vancouver, is the Maple Leafs, who I just placed a bet the other night. The Maple Leafs look good. The Bruins weren't in it this year.
It could be their year.
Could be. We were just talking last week how they had the crap running down their leg, and then Tony
if you
also
watch,
did.
Yeah. Every week.
You watch Florida over the last couple of years, though. They go out in the first game, not intending to lose, but they go out in the first game intending to beat the shit out of you. And if they lose, they
Set the
lose.
tone.
They don't care. And they beat the shit out of Toronto. They knocked their goalie out. And
Bennett forearmed him, right?
whether it was intentional or not,
It was intentional. It was
they're
Bennett.
best friends.
Ooh.
The goalie and Bennett are
Not after
really
that
good
game.
friends.
Yeah, they were.
And at the end of the game, Kachuk went after Mitch Marner.
Yep.
Did you see that? And it was kind of lame looking, but it's just that's what they are there to do.
We saw it year after year, up close, what they did to the Bruins.
And the Bruins would win game one, and you're like, oh, they got this series. And no, Florida is just pounding on you to pound on you.
But Toronto looks better than I've ever seen. They look
really good.
They look like a regular season Toronto.
Yeah.
Because Toronto always looks good in the regular season. They
And then
crap their pants.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll see how that series involves. I just think this is the year without Bruins. I was Washington, but just watching the way Toronto has played, they battled back in that Ottawa series, took that, came out game one. They were physical, and they just look good. And I can't believe I'm saying this about a Maple Leafs team. So, and just like that, NHL's done.
That's it.
May 18th, New England for the Hobby card show. Get there. Patrick Pass, 3-time Super Bowl champion.
Number 35, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll be there signing autographs.
Running back. New England Patriots.
Fullback, isn't he?
Yeah, kind of like they did a little bit of both, yeah.
All right. So check that out.
Damn
We'll see it. We'll put it in the story.
Miss that one.
I thought you were going to be at that
I thought
one.
you were selling your little
no.
cartoon cards.
He's not. He's going to be in out of the country.
Where are you going?
Russia.
Russia? Really? You really want to go there? You and Brittany Griner?
Not going to Russia.
No? It's great.
It's close.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't realize he was going to start bringing people in to sign. That's pretty cool.
Yes, I think Josh has a little relationship with Pass. We'll see if this is a good turnout. I'm hoping he has more. And this is because this isn't. There's no third party involved with this, so
that's
this
good.
is good.
Yeah,
So,
I put in for a table in June, so I'll be there for that one.
Maybe I'll have Patrick Pass back.
Maybe.
All right, quick little NFL minute. Did you hear about Carter with Sims and Taylor's jersey? Couldn't get their numbers?
This guy's an idiot. You heard before the draft, like, this guy's an idiot, and teams were kind of, like, maybe veering away from him because they didn't like his attitude, and now you're starting to see, like, you want Lawrence Taylor to give up his retired number, the greatest defensive player of all time, and then after that, Phil Simms, Super Bowl champion, you want him to give up his number 11? Like,
I guess Dave was telling me that, and I looked this up after you said it, you were spot on. Phil Simms actually okayed him taking that number. It was Phil Simms' family that vetoed it.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, his family fought with him on it and said,
Yeah.
you're not giving up your number.
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
Just the audacity to come up.
Yeah.
I just-
Especially if this guy's a prick. Like, you're going to give up your number for this, like, dickhead? And then
First off, to think that Lawrence Taylor, one of the biggest dickheads that was ever in the league, is going to give up his number to you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're coming in taking his position,
Yeah, you
right?
don't give
Here's,
him
here's the thing. I mean, how's his money situation right now?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. I bet you.
Does LT need cocaine?
I
I'm
mean-
sure if you gave him a...
If Abdul Carter says, he gets $15 million signing bonus and he says, I'll give you $5 million for that number.
I don't think
That-
LT would
that
do it.
might
I think,
change.
I think
I
he's
don't
like
know.
pretty narcissistic. Where I
Right.
think he's number 56.
Right.
And it'd be weird to see another person on the New
Oh,
York
it
Giants
definitely would.
wear
Yeah,
number 56.
for us it would. But you go 15 years from now, a lot of people aren't going to know who Lawrence Taylor is.
Right, but it's still.
Ask any 15-year-olds right now that watch football if they knew who Lawrence Taylor is.
Yeah.
Valid point, David.
Yeah, but like, if somebody wore number 21 for the Red Sox, did they retire Clemens' number?
I had to think about that.
I don't know.
I don't know if
I
they
had to
did,
think about who was 21.
but I don't think I've ever seen a 21. It would just be weird. Certain
What
numbers.
about 12 for the Patriots?
That would be weird,
There you
right?
go. You should have gone with that one.
Yeah, that's
And it would.
a much better example. In LT and Brady, they're kind of on the same level, right? Greatest
Then-
defensive player, greatest offensive player. That'd be weird.
But then the question comes up, like, why retire numbers? Just have the Ring of Honor with the name in it.
I think certain numbers should be retired. I think number 12 for the Patriots should be
I don't know.
retired.
I like Dave's idea, just the Ring of Honor. Why do you want your number? Just have your plaque with your name, and I don't know. I like Dallas's Ring of Honor. I love the Yankees, how they have their outfield of honor. I don't know what do they call it.
But they
Ring
have
of Honor?
numbers, right?
Yeah, they have both.
They do have,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But like I said, I mean, maybe Abdul Carter has seen highlights of LT. We've watched him play.
There's no way he doesn't know who LT is.
He knows who he is, obviously. But like I said, 15 years from now, some kid's gonna go to the Giants and be some stud linebacker and say, "Who's this 56 guy?"
I don't know. I think anyone who plays the position knows who the greats are. I find it hard to believe that if you play that position, you don't know who the greats are.
Maybe. I mean, do you look at some of the older
Pipe fitters?
offensive linemen?
Yeah.
Like, isn't it?
I don't play offensive
Yeah.
lineman, though.
Yeah.
But that doesn't,
I weigh 193 pounds, Dave. I'm not an offensive lineman.
doesn't Hannah have his number retired with the Patriots?
Number 73.
I'm sure Will Campbell knows who he is.
Number 73, guard.
I don't know.
Maybe one of the
I
best
don't
guards
even
of
know
all time.
who he is.
John, one of the best guards of all time, number 73.
All right,
Just
on
told
that
you.
note,
All right, we're out.
we're out of time. We'll see everybody next week.
All right, check you later.